Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. We are beginning Unit 4, and this is about daily life. And the first conversation is a conversation between two people, two boys, and they are talking about when they wake up and when they go to school and etc. How they start their day. Briefly, first I will translate it. متى تستيقظ? When do you wake up? أستيقظ عند الفجر. I wake up at Fajr. أين تصلي الفجر? When do you pray Fajr? أصلي فجر أصلي فجرا في المسجد. I pray Fajr in the masjid. هل تنام بعد الصلاة? Do you sleep after salah, after the prayer? لا لا أنام بعد الصلاة. No no, I don't sleep after salah. What do you do after salah? ماذا تفعل بعد الصلاة? What do you do after salah? أقرأ القرآن. I read the Quran. ومتى تذهب إلى المدرسة? And when do you go to the school? أذهب الساعة السابعة. I go at 7 o'clock. Do you go by car? هل تذهب بالسيارة? And the answer is لا أذهب بالحافلة. أذهب بالحافلة. No, I go by bus. And this conversation has some things I want to point out. متى means when. It's a question word. Just like ماذا means what. يستيقظ means he wakes up. So remember from previous units how we conjugate it. يستيقظ means he. So تستيقظ means you wake up. أستيقظ means I wake up. Al-Fajr had a kasra the first time in the Al-Fajr because it is the second word in a fragment that we now know as Al-Irafa. From Unit 3 we talked about it. If you don't know, please go back to Unit 3 and watch the recording. So there's two words in the Irafa structure, Al-Muraf and Al-Muraf Ilay. So the second word will have a kasra in the Irafa. So Al-Fajr has a kasra because it's the second word in the Irafa structure, and not every Irafa is of relationship. So that's why I'm switching to the word Irafa, because now we see that it doesn't mean that I wake up with after up Fajr or with up Fajr. It just means I wake up with Fajr. And the second one is the second time that we see the word Fajr, it has a fatha at the end, because it is the detail of an action, that is what was prayed, or yes. So ماذا تفعل بعد الصلاة is the first time. The second one is ومتى I'm sorry أين تصلي الفجر. تصلي is the action of praying, and al-fajr had the fatha. Why? Because what was prayed, fajr was prayed. So it had a fatha. It's the detail of an action. Yanamu means sleep. He sleeps. So tanamu means he sleeps. You sleep. So the question is, do you sleep after fajr? And ba'da means after. Ba'da al-fajr means after fajr. It doesn't mean after of fajr. So again, ba'da means after, and ba'da salati, salati has a kasra because ba'da is the muraf, salati is muraf ilay. يفعل means he does. So the question is, ماذا تفعل بعد الفجر? What do you do after fajr? ماذا تفعل بعد الصلاة? What do you do after salah? أفعل means I do. What did he say? What's the answer? He says, I read Quran. And we know how to say that from the previous units in the family unit. Then the question is, when do you go to school? And the answer is أذهب الساعة السابعة. I go in the seventh hour. السابعة, remember, is one of the ordinal numbers: first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh. And he's saying I go at 7 o'clock. And الساعة السابعة, you'll notice that both words have a fatha at the end of them, because together they are a detail of an action. That is when the action of going occurs. He's going, and when did he go? In the seventh hour, at 7 o'clock. A sa has a fatha on it. A sabia is a description, it's an adjective, the seventh hour. In Arabic, the description has to match the described noun in four things, whether it's definite or indefinite. So a sa'a has an alif lam at the beginning, so we know that it's a definite noun. So therefore, the description that comes after it has to have an alif lam at the beginning as well. So as-sa'ata as-sabiya, as-sa'ata sabiya. Ending state. As-sa'ata has a fatha because it is a detail of an action. So its adjective or its description also has to have a fatha. So as-sabiya, as-sa'ata sabiyata. Is male or female? As-sa'a, we know that it's female because it has a ta marbuta at the end of it, which makes it feminine. So as-sabiya, instead of saying as-sabiya with the ayn at the end, we say as-sa'at as-sabi'ata with a ta marbuta at the end of that as well. And the fourth thing that the adjective has to agree with is in count, whether it's singular, dual, or plural. We haven't seen that yet, but that's something to keep in mind. Then he says, Tariq asks, هل تذهب بالسيارة? Do you go by car? And Tahir said, لا أذهب بالحافلة. So, uh, this letter ba comes with different meanings. It's one of the huruf al-jar. One of the huruf al-jar that means that it's one of the letters or particles that force the word after them to have a kasr at the end. And this letter ba is a harf that means it had no meaning unless it had context. So some of the meaning, one of the meanings here that we see is that with the help of. So I go with the help of I go with the help of a car. I go with the help of a bus. And that's the end of conversation 1. The second conversation on page 72 is about what the family does on their day off. So I will translate again. هذا يوم العطلة. The mother says هذا يوم العطلة. This is the day of vacation. الأب هذا يوم العمل. This is the day of work. الأب ماذا ستفعل بعد يا طه? What are you going to do, O طه? طه سأكنس غرفة الجلوس. I will clean or I will sweep or vacuum the living room. الأم وماذا ستفعلين يا فاطمة? What are you going to do, O Fatima? فاطمة سأكنس غرفة النوم. I will sweep or vacuum the bedroom. الأم وماذا ستفعل يا أحمد? And what are you going to do, O Ahmed? Ahmed replies, سأغسل الملابس. I will clean the clothes. I will wash the clothes. الأم وماذا ستفعلين يا لطيفة? And what are you going to do, O Latifa? Latifa replies, سأكوي الملابس. And I will vacuum. I will iron the clothes. الجدة, the grandmother says, أنا سأغسل الأطباق. I will wash the dishes. And Al-Jad, the grandfather says, and I will read the Quran. So something to point out here are that Utla means vacation, Amal means work, Sayaf'alu means he will do. So we see that when we put a scene before an action, they give the meaning of the future tense. And if you see a scene before a word, it's an indicator that this word is an action. Yaknusu means he sweeps or vacuums. So if someone said Aknusu, that means I will Aknusu means I clean, I vacuum or sweep. Sa'aknusu means I will vacuum. Taf'alina is you, what you do. So when you're talking to a singular feminine, yaf'alu he will do. Taf'alu you, yaf'alu he does. You taf'alu you do or she does. Af'alu I do. Now we see a new one. When you're talking to a singular feminine person, female, you would say taf'alina, not taf'alu, like you would for a male. So for a male, if you're talking to a male, you would say taf'alu. For a female, you would say taf'alina. Yagsilu, he washes. Malabis means clothes. Yakwi means he irons. Atbaq means place. And the singular of it is tabaq, which means a single plate. Conversation 3 on page 73 is another conversation about what people do on their day off. And I will translate it. Adil and Faisal. Adil, متى تستيقظ يوم العطلة? متى تستيقظ يوم العطلة? When do you wake up on your vacation, on your weekend? Faisal, أستيقظ مبكرا. I wake up early. فيصل ومتى تستيقظ أنت ومتى تستيقظ أنت and when do you wake up عدل أستيقظ متأخرا I wake up late فيصل ماذا تفعل في الصباح what do you do in the morning عدل أشاهد التلفاز I watch TV وماذا تفعل أنت and what do you do فيصل says أقرأ صحيفة أو كتابا I read a newspaper or a book عادل أين تصلي الجمعة أين تصلي الجمعة where do you pray جمعة فيصل أصلي الجمعة في المسجد الكبير I pray جمعة prayer in the big grand masjid وأين تصلي أنت فيصل says and where do you pray عادل says أصلي في المسجد الكبير أيضا I pray in the grand masjid also. And we see in this conversation that yom is the detail of waking up. So the first question is متى تستيقظ أنت متى تستيقظ يوم العطلة when do you wake up yom is the detail of waking up when did you wake up and مبكرا means early متأخرا means late Sabah means morning. Yushahidu, the verb for he watches. And if you remember from a previous unit, Mushahada is the active viewing. Yushahidu is he is viewing in a specific time frame, which is the current time frame. Tilfaz is television. Sahifatan is newspaper. Sahifa is newspaper. Kitab is book. And in both cases, in the conversation, they have a fatha on them because they are the detail of they are the detail of an action of reading. That is, what is being read, a newspaper or a book. Al-Kabir, Kabir means big. So Al-Kabir, Kabir is big and it's a description for masjid. So if you look at the word masjid, that's the word you want to describe. So we see that masjid had alif lam at the beginning of it. So that means it's definite. We see that al-masjid has a kasra at the end of it because of the letter P before it. And we see that it is masculine. So therefore, the description after it has to match in all three of them. So we put alif lam before kabir and we put a kasra at the end of it. So al-masjid al-kabir أصلي الجمعة في المسجد الكبير and أيضا means also, so I also pray in the grand masjid. Lesson 20 begins on page 74 and it is about vocabulary, and I'll quickly read the words. Yanamu means he sleeps. Yastayqidu, he wakes up. يذهب, he goes. يكنس, he sweeps or vacuums. يغسل, he cleans or washes. يكوي, he irons. يشاهد, he watches. كبير, big. كتاب, book. صحيفة, newspaper. تلفاز, television. مدرسة, school. سيارة, car. حافلة, bus. ملابس, clothes. أطباق, place. الصباح, morning. الفجر, the dawn. ساعة, hour. صلاة, prayer. مبكرا, early. متأخرا, late. عمل, work. عطلة, vacation. And on pages 75 and 76 we have some exercises. Page 75, on page 76 we have ordinal numbers. So we've done a little bit of this before. Now we're doing the ordinal numbers first through fifth. So look at the pictures, listen and repeat with the audio. Uh, so we have الأول, الثاني, الثالث, الرابع, الخامس. So this shouldn't be too hard for you guys because we've done a little bit of this before. Lesson 21 is about grammatical structures. So in these examples, exercises, pages 77 through 79, we're going to see how to accomplish the following. How to ask when do you go to, etc. And how to say I go at. Where do you go? Where do you do this? I do this in the blank. What are you doing? I am doing this. What will you do? I will do this. So follow along with the audio, and we're going to do more of this in class. So be prepared. Lesson 22 is about sounds. So we're going to see the letters ta and tha. The breath runs out for ta, but not for tha. And they're both strong letters, so they rely strongly on their articulation points. So ta, tha. It's not ta and twa. It doesn't spend a lot of time on the makhraj, and it comes out quickly. The sound of tha stays between the roof and the tongue of your mouth, the roof of your mouth and the tongue. So tha, it's not tha, it's tha. And ta has an open sound. Tha is an awesome letter, so that means the roof of your mouth has pressure on it. Tha, because you raise your tongue. Ta is not an awesome letter. Your tongue stays low and flat. Tha is a bouncy letter. What that means is that if you have a sukoon on it, atta, 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 yut'imu. ألا بذكر الله تطمئن القلوب. Page 81, you listen to exercises 1 through 3, and then you listen and repeat after that. And on page 82, you're going to be understanding what you hear. Exercises 82 and 83, 84. Page 82 and 83, you listen to the conversation, and you either put the number or check the right box. So lesson 23 is about kalam, talking and speaking. We'll do this in class just like we do lesson 21 with the grammatical structures. And lesson 24 is about reading. And now I want you to pay attention to the exercises on pages 88, especially because now you're going to be reading with understanding and not just reading out loud. You're going to be reading with understanding and answering the questions, and I will ask you in class to answer the questions. So I'm going to be assuming that you've already read them. So please read these paragraphs and be prepared to answer questions. And finally, lesson 24 is about writing. On pages 89 and 90, we have 4 letters to read and 4 letters to write: Sin, Sheen, Sod, and Rod. It's really beneficial for you to learn how to write because writing will also help you read better. And that is the end of Unit 4. Inshallah, I will see you in class. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.